And this does mean that Camille is probably going mid. And that will be an interesting matchup. I mean, now there's 10 seconds left. I want to see if they do keep it here. I would imagine that this is where we go with this one, as Chovy obviously is very well versed, and he can definitely play the Camille mid. So it is going to be ending up mid, up against the Zoe, which, again, you think about the one-on-one, I suppose early might not be too fun, but the all-in potential from the Camille could be quite scary on to that Zoe.
And it definitely, we've seen Camille support in the past.
Could have happened.
I think actually the player that was trying Camille support the most in solo queue when it was almost being a legitimate thing was actually Beryl once upon a time.
Makes sense. I mean, Beryl's the guy that we know for a lot of Bard, a lot of Pantheon, and aggressive roaming picks. That's part of the reason why I was like, where's the Bard priority going to be in the series? But we didn't see it at all.
Yeah.
Pick ban in game number 1, and it's Carry and Beryl, which are two of the biggest Bard players that we have in the LCK. So I'm pretty surprised. It seems like they've really pulled out some new strategies, and that both teams are very prepared for the matchup, which makes sense. You know, they're not just strolling into, you know, a random east side of the bracket matchup that both of these teams would demolish, even without a strategy. They could just pick standard. But here it's like, okay, we really need to prepare for what the other side is going to bring in. So respect being shown from both sides here. Fleet footwork here going to be the choice for Chovy. Obviously, it's going to give him a bit more sustain up against a ranged matchup, which can be a little bit hard to deal with.
And let's see how Chovy manages to do here on this mid Camille. We take a look at all of the runes. Now, the most surprising thing that stands out to me is obviously the Scorch on Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is obviously going the distance with the Gathering Storm. Canyon looking to maybe sin a little bit. Moving down here. Beryl with a Flay. They're softening up DRX a little bit. Not really sure what Canyon's route is or what the communication was down here. Now, the other thing about Heimerdinger versus Aphelios is, again, Aphelios is very prone to magic damage because of his base MR. So Dinger is able to do a lot. It's very hard for Aphelios to play the lane. And any Senna snare is a death sentence because it perfectly sets up for Heimerdinger to stun you and then just unload his combo on you.
It's been mid-Camille. It's been 396 days. So the last time was Showmaker up against Lava last year, June 30th.
396 days ago, they riot. Nice, nice stat. Can't even let Hanwha win once tonight, huh? Thank you.
Yeah, they had to highlight that matchup, huh?
Thank you, production, on that one.
Can't believe it.
Yeah. Well, Chovy's gonna recall after this wave.
Yep.
Canyon. It's in a series all 5 of us really want to win. We don't want to lose in a what?
Lackadaisical fashion, like the last one, and
I've never seen that word in my life.
And delineate what we're really made of. You just know, you just know that he was educated here in Korea. No, I'm just kidding. Chovy says our opposition is an extraordinary team, so I'll approach the series under the mindset that we could lose out in the series. I will give everything.
Yeah, he'll give everything.
Yeah, sorry. You know,
You're right.
From NA, so I couldn't, not able to read fast enough, unfortunately. Yeah. But you guys get the picture. Chovy is going to do everything. And he kind of did do a bit of everything up against Gen G. It's definitely a big-time carry, at least in Game 1.
And we'll see how he's going to manage to do here today. Now, Showmaker managing his lane very well. Still has his teleport available. Finally out of his corrupting potions. And Chovy is having a bit of a rougher time. Missed that one CS. And everything is going about as one would expect across pretty much all the lanes. Doran does have a sizable minion wave underneath his turret, so let's see if he manages to get all of these, or if some go into the nothingness.
Yeah. And you can see that Nuguri, you know, he used to be absolutely the most isolated, killed top laner, but that is no longer the case. He's 6th, which is, it's definitely getting better. So that's really good news for him. He's got a lot of top stats for top laners, and very often people will quote him as the best top laner currently in the LCK, especially when you consider some of the other top teams here. In the LCK, they don't really have standout top laners, whereas Nuguri definitely is one.
Yeah, Nuguri, I mean, this is why the Kennen is so surprising, is I wouldn't have expected him to want to blind in or just go for this kind of a matchup when he could exert so much more force. But even though Doran took the Jace, Nuguri's still getting the better end of the laning phase so far. In mid lane, I mean, Showmaker, he's up quite a bit of CS right now. It is normal to be up in this lane matchup.
He missed the cannon, though, so it's all over.
It's, yeah.
Just never mind.
Meanwhile, Traptal not doing a whole lot of stuff super early on. Canyon's just trying to ensure that all of his laners are being given a lot of freedom. And I mean, in doing so, Pioshek, because he's up that one camp, is ahead in EXP.
Kind of baiting the fight here is Doran, but he's still going in. He's looking for the solo, as the flash is not going to help Nuguri, and the straight-up solo kill comes out from Doran. Probably the lane we expected the least from here for DRX.
Yeah, and I mean, that is that kind of a kill cannot be understated. Because Jace getting that so
they're going to burst him down. The smite is not enough to keep him alive. And the smite is going to be available for Canyon, so they immediately strike back as Pioshek really tried to force the steal there, and he got punished hardcore.
Yeah, it's just a little confusing. But one of the things that does happen is Nuguri teleported down. He's missing a lot of minions, EXP and CS, that he would have otherwise not missed. And now he has Ignite via the spellbook, but Doran is already into level 7, has the serrated dirt, double longsword. Nuguri's behind a lot in lane now. And remember, isolated solo kills, they've been buffed in recent patches for the EXP. And
okay, we're right back in the action here. The damage should be enough. The James are going to go wide, and Beryl nearly dies as Trapdoll does 0, as he's too late to the party. The gank from Beryl.
Yeah.
From Beryl, the support, in the top lane at 7.5 minutes.
And that is going to offset all the pressure Doran had going for him. Meanwhile, down here, though, in bottom, Ghost is trying to just hang on. Keria and Deft getting quite a bit of chip damage. Lost Chapter already completed. We're probably just going to have the Glacial items come out for Dinger. So we'd expect GLP 800 to be his first item. And then just going on from there. Deft building a little bit of turrets.
Oh, man.
Okay, well.
We have so many good Zoes in the LCK. It looks like Battlestar was off cooldown, or on cooldown, rather, for the big combo, but still able to get in there and get that little bit of damage done.
Oh, what a counter gank.
Yeah, here we go. Showmaker, he's looking vulnerable, but here comes the set. Gonna look to deliver that trundle into the backline, and a huge face breaker is gonna be enough, and now Pioshek is totally out of position. No way for him to get out of here as well. They wanted to give the kill to Showmaker, but now Pioshek is gonna continue running as I don't think he had the flash there really, but just wanted to make sure that they wanted to pick up the kill.
And look at what kind of a team player Nuguri is actually being in this game. He was roaming down into mid yet again. And it's just such a forced gank because DRX probably feel a little bit under pressure. They have a Camille in mid lane that's just continuing to fall behind because of some of the events that have unfolded. It's already a rough matchup from the get-go, which is why I'm so perplexed why it wasn't just a Camille support. Or Camille just go top lane and pick an actual support to go with high.
Ooh, oh, what? How did he miss that? How did they both miss their ultimates? Come on, guys. You got this.
Well, Deft is, you know, it was just 3 days ago that it was the StarCraft 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
And Deft is playing Heimerdinger, which builds turrets, so it reminds me of an SCV.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
So that's fine.
They don't remind you more of like cannons, like Protoss cannons?
Oh, I mean, yeah, either way.
Yeah.
That would have been fine.
I guess that both works.
Yeah.
And, you know, it kind of builds while he's not next to it, so I thought maybe he was more like a probe. But
that is true.
you're a Terran player, so that makes sense. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Shout them out.
Yeah.
And here's the gank from Beryl.
Yeah, and you can just see Doron, I mean, he struggled to get the wave in, and it's also really big because he misses the cannon EXP as well as the CS, so he did get 4 of the minions from the wave, so it's not a total loss on his death. And then right here, you can see that there was a ping. I don't know what that was, but it was really simple. It's a very forced game.
트런들 높여.
Trundle no flash.
이겼. 다 왔다. 애 높여.
He has no flash.
내가 잡을게.
I'll get him.
어?
Oh,
애 높으려.
he has no flash.
See,
아, 아까운데?
he has trouble. Well, I think he could have just gone over the wall. We didn't need to have cannon flashing there to go 3-0, but he's feeling it, you know?
Yeah. And the Tiamat on the mid Camille, I mean, this is another unfortunate situation of the lane.
Just going to get baited into the pillar, but do they have the damage?
No.
Doran nearly going to die. The flash finally comes out from Nuguri, waiting until the last second to survive there.
Oh, no.
X-Tech flash, here we go again. The smite comes in, and he's going to line up that bubble. Camille not able to dodge that one, as Chovy is going to be punished once again. Now 0-2. This is a masterclass right now being put on by Dom1, the mid and the jungle in particular.
Yeah, and I mean, the bot lane is doing about what you would expect. It constantly shoves Aphelios in. It makes it very hard for him to play the game, and they get lots of turret plates. The problem is that Camille can't lane against Zoe, and then Showmaker getting a couple of edges early, plus the offset recalls and the fact that they have Trapple in the jungle to try to offset the pressure is just not really a very good look right now. Plus, Pioshik inting it away at Mountain Dragon.
Yeah.
Not super great. Doran did have a very good solo kill, but I really feel like the game's just fallen apart at this point. Camille is going to be so stunted. Tiamat into Merc Treads. She's never getting Trinity Force. She's so useless. She may as well be a support this game.
Yeah. Here's Beryl again. The flash forces the flash. That was going to hit.
Yeah.
By the way. So, once again, the pressure coming from the bottom side. And although Ghost is getting behind, he was already going to get behind. He's just farming on the turret. Yes, a bunch of plates went towards Deft and Keria, but
I feel like Ghost on Dom1 is so underappreciated for what he's able to do, because even when he's not the star of the show, he's still remaining relevant, and he still feels reliable inside of the game. Like, you don't just count him out. It's not a liability in the same sense. So
he's an awesome role player.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Superplex into the bubble. Chovy tries to cancel it, but things are just not looking out. And so this is why when the end conclusion of the draft ended, and I inferred that this was a very sinful comp, it's that they deviated from what should have been their main game plan. They have champions that are misaligned. They sent champions into roles that don't make a whole lot of sense. And one of the things, well...
Okay, they're just going to turn on a Pioshik here. Fortunately, everything misses from the Zoe, who's quite fed.
One of the things I was worried about, and I alluded to it, but it's actually happening in a different area, is Pioshik's ability to play when his laners can't just basically win every lane. And it's an interesting thing I've talked about many times elsewhere. Talked about it on some of the talk shows. There we go.
We're not ending here. Bases will be broken, and down will go the Thresh. That's the power of the Heimerdinger, who gets away as now the TP's coming in. Nuguri trying to get this as Showmaker coming in from behind, trying to make this a fight, and he is doing so much as Keria can't quite keep up, and he's going to be able to get that kill on the Chovy. Oh, man. finally following up there with Stomp on his Pyoshik. He's where are you, buddy? What's going on there? He's doing the Krugs up in the top lane.
Well, for the Horde. Well, that is what's going on.
Yeah.
I think he's in Westfall right now. Judging by his level, he's about. I'm not totally sure, but.
Yeah. I mean, it was about as out of position as you could be for that one. And it ended up being a 4v5 and something that Death was somehow able to turn around by the power of Heimerdinger. But they just eventually got outnumbered.
Yeah, and I mean, if we actually look at the minimap and we want to be fair to Pyoshik, he was already pathing towards golems, and if he were to change his trajectory to randomly bottom lane, there would be no way anything could happen. If you want to be really critical of him, he doesn't take this opportunity to immediately path away from his golems and into blue. And in the fight, Chovy, I mean, Canyon says, give me a little kiss as he drags him in before the haymaker.
Okay.
Facebreaker, really good setup. Dinger's ability to turn dives can't really be understated. As just lots of chaos unfolding.
Getting all the views now.
Yeah. Boom.
Nice.
Where's
Where's Trundle?
Where's Trundle?
Canyon with the trash talk at the end. I love it. Oh,
Pyoshik's
man.
stuck on Hogger right now.
All his friends are in Red Ridge.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
Come on, guys. Like, I wanted to play with you. What's going on? Now he's like watching their stream as they take down some of the elite quests. Oh man, yeah, he's having a rough one. But this is what happens to Trundle that gets behind early and has losing lanes. I mean, you know, it's not all him, right? As much as we like to meme, it's definitely a little bit unfortunate the way this game has gone for DRX. Damwon definitely in the driver's seat here.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got priority up on the top side. They're going to get the second Rift Herald now.
And things are just looking really doomed. The two dragons are super valuable. The RX does get a little bit of benefit in that it's Cloud Dragon. Not the biggest value. Drake, that could have been rolled. Obviously, Ocean was a possibility. DRX, if they do end up getting this Cloud Drake, now this is a very interesting thing. I've never seen 5 players so excited to die.
Yeah, I don't know why they're really trying to do this over one Cloud Drake, especially when Nuggery had Ghost. He used it, but he still has an excellent flank that's coming in. They're just going to zone them. They don't want to really, you know, heavily commit to this. They're going to come around and get a better angle first.
Oh, man. I feel like we're in that movie where, like...
This is like Jaws, man.
Yeah.
And Nuggery, a little bit of an awkward spot. He's going to join up with his team now as, okay, now we're going to go. A little bit late, but just going to burst down the Heimer. Will be Canyon's job here, as everybody is going to go into the Death Chamber. This is going to be a 5-for-0, as long as they can catch up to the Trapdoll, who is feeling a little bit trapped himself, but it looks like he may be able to get away, and that he will, but a disaster for DRX. Damwon, they were like the sharks that were looming, and they got the meat, the blood that they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's this game is... The writing's on the wall. This one is super, super long gone. Barring some miracle Heimerdinger plays or something. Set with the double Facebreaker, Haymaker to just delete that from the fight, but it doesn't really matter. They're so far ahead in this fight. And DRX, they're long gone at this point. It is a almost 6,000 gold lead, but you factor in the Infernal and the Mountain Dragon, and you're probably getting pretty close to that in terms of value. And I would just look at Camille. She still doesn't have first core item. Still waiting on that Trinity Force.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, no Ignite right now for Showmaker, thankfully for him, as here comes the follow-up engage. Barrow flashes away, lets Canyon take the heat. And they're really trying to push the issues here. They got to be careful. Although they're going to try to lock down Showmaker. Here comes Ghost. The hook is going to fly wide.
Yep.
Teleport available for Nuggery if they want to go for it. You can see what the turrets are doing here to the Zoe.
Yeah.
There's still, a decent amount of poke coming out here from DRX, so Damon will back away.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. Chovy's just going to eventually disengage. Pioshek, I mean, he's looking for drops right now is what he's doing. He's looking for if there's any elites on the map that he can farm.
It's kind of like he's on that quest and he's like 7 out of 8 on some item and it just won't drop,
He's looking for the last gore tusk liver.
And he's gone around the map, but there are no more gore tusks on the map. So he's like, I guess I just have to sit here and wait and do nothing.
Oh, man.
Sad day in MMO.
Yeah, very sad.
For Pioshek.
Oh, man.
Who's kind of stuck here, playing an MMO from behind on Trundle.
Oh, man.
And, yeah, it's the slow clawing away at the buildings here. Showmaker trying to do whatever he can. We get Shirelias again. See a lot more Shirelias nowadays. A lot of these supports are beginning to build it. Just to get their team in position, doing that damage. It's going to be useful there to get the Magi's Zoe, by the way, out of position.
And it's a really nice pickup. Always a very big fan of Magi's on mid laners. Anytime they begin to hit around 6 stacks or so on a Darksteel, just always purchase into it. You can even purchase it outright if you're really far ahead, just to add more salt to the wound. Shelly up here. And not going to be finding a whole lot, but is pushing a lane.
Wow. Snagged that one.
Yep. Ghost now just going to get a whole lot of farm.
Yeah. And we were talking a little bit about Ghost. He's definitely, I think, the best role player in the LCK right now. And, for you guys who have watched the Michael Jordan documentary, there are guys that have to play with Michael Jordan that are not going to be the stars of the show, right?
Yeah.
But they still have to do their job. They're playing their role, essentially, as a support player for the team, and that is exactly what we talk about when we call Ghost a role player and really good at what what his job is, being reliable and consistent.
Yes.
And not, dying or giving too many advantages to the enemy team.
And the interesting thing about Ghost is, well, you can't just remove him and get a slightly worse player, because we've seen what that iteration can actually do.
Yeah.
When you don't have the reliable bot lane. And Beryl, I mean, we've said it time and time again, he looks like he's freed this summer.
Yeah, he does.
Where he is playing so many different champions and able to do so much more. He's running around, his champion pool is all over the place. He's totally free from the constraints. And I don't know. I mean, the devil is in the details.
The difference is massive. I mean, we were talking about Beryl and his Alistair at Worlds. That's about it.
I
right?
had him at one of the worst LCK support.
We were seeing Hoyt a lot. It was like, I mean, he's okay. There wasn't really a lot of great talk about Beryl, but now it's like, is this guy the best support in the LCK? He might be. It's between him and Keria. And that's a massive difference to go from the bottom of the pack to the top of the pack, just like that. And it does have to do with roster. It has to do with, the options being given to him.
One Canyon coming up here, looking for Chovy. He's only 2 levels under Camille.
Oh, yeah, I think he can probably just even solo Chovy here, as the hook is going to land wide, but the roots are here. Chovy really trying to do everything possible to avoid this one, but he's going to get slowed up. Do we have another route? Is the question. We're just going to have to flash to kill him then, as Beryl is going to eat a ton of aggro here. Has to go into his stopwatch. He is going to survive, as now we do have DRX corralled once again, but this time they do have an escape path, it seems. Down to the side, into the river. As Showmaker's just taking pot shots, and here comes Nuggery.
Oh man, he's
so
fast. Yeah.
Cloud Drake.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. Here's the sacrifice from Doran. He's like, take me, don't take my team.
That's the Doran's body. That's the underappreciated one, you know? Everyone always talks about the ring, the shield, the blade, but no one ever talks about the body.
It's gonna matter too much. We do have a TP coming in though. Let's watch out for this. We got a double play coming in. I think Dalmon has to pull off of this. They got to turn, and that they will. The exhaust comes down. And where's the rest of the team? They come in so late on the side of DRX. They cannot do anything. And it just feels like they're donating more and more kills into the pockets, the wallets of Dalmon. As the thumbs up, thumbs up.
That's the tombstone pile driver.
Oh man, 18 kills in 3 in 25 minutes.
Well, they are getting cedar right now. Is what's happening. And also in game number 2, DRX has not only a better draft, but also they allocate the champions differently. Interestingly enough, Dev laughing as well.
Yeah, there's so much player count.
Normally, he doesn't show any of those almost ever win or lose. But probably just thinks that the game is ridiculous given how lost it is at this point. Definitely. He goes over the ball and instantly dies. I guess that's pretty funny. It's a massacre. It is a buffet. Koshik, I mean, he's doing things like that through this whole game. He's running away. Chilling Smite, and then a Chilling Smite picked up there by Showmaker, and there it is.
Oh, again?
Don't have to wait for WrestleMania for that one.
Again? With this kind of flank that we have going on?
Oh!
He's gonna live, actually.
He lived.
Wow. So, not again, I suppose. Look at Heimerdinger and Senna, though. They're potentially looking to get flanked here. As they're looking to turn it around now. They want to jump onto Nuggery, but in goes Canyon into the back. He's going 1v2 back here, and he's so tanky. They're so far behind, they can't do anything up against the set, who is way too much for them right now. And they're going to be corralled again.
Yeah.
Again. I can't believe we're seeing this again. I don't even, like, what is going on? Toby's going in, he's like, here, take me first. I don't want to be part of this, actually. And, yeah, free pot shots from the Zoe. Let's just dive the turrets, guys.
I mean, they're really farming KDA at this point.
Well, that's the Dom one way, I suppose. They want to get a bigger KDA for Showmaker, just to have an insurmountable lead that is in the KDA department, and the entirety of the team is as well. I mean, there's only 3 deaths. And Canyon's 808. Wow, that's a nice number.
Yeah. But the...
So, who are you going to vote for player of the game this game, Chovy?
Mid.
Chovy?
Mid.
Maybe when he hits reverse legendary, you can kind of do the Papa thing. As here's this fight again. I don't know what was going on here.
I mean, there's just really no answer to Canyon. I mean, he's the same level as the solo laners on DRX. He is so tanky as well. Also, this was interesting. So Chovy actually gets the armor shield or the adaption against Canyon, but I think the Cinderhulk killed him. The burn. It's not a thing that you normally get to see that often.
Yeah.
As
they got zapped by Pikachu.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt right there. And, yeah, I mean... What?
Alright.
Wait, what was that?
That was interesting.
That was a proto belt. He's got 25 stacks on his eyes right now. It's unbelievable. Okay, well, Daze is probably dead. You're gonna have Yoshi block for him. I didn't even see Def die.
He is so fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got smited. Yeah. Smoked from the heavens. That is the god of Canyon right now. I think Dom1, the way they're playing this game as well, they're not just trying to win. They're really trying to make a statement here. There's like, okay, there's one top team in the LCK, and it's us. By the way, they just destroyed, they took the soul out of DRX in this one, and it was not close.
No. Another Bumblebee emote, 28-3. As that is going to be it.
That's going to do it.
Game number 1. And honestly, Valdez, I mean, again, if you go back and look at the context of their round 1 series of the round robin,